next guest, global affairs analyst Michael Bociurkiw, live for us in Odessa, in Ukraine. Michael, great to see you. I'm sure you were here listening to that discussion that Nick and I were having. What did you make then of what we heard today from Starmer and from President Macron? Is this a sign, perhaps, that the needle is turning, that pressure is going to be applied here?
Sure, good to be with you again, Isa. Well, certainly a lot of balls in the air there and almost difficult to keep track of everything. But I can tell you that just going back about a month ago when the Black Sea Security Forum happened here in Odessa, there was a lot of skepticism about European leadership, a lot of criticism of Keir Starmer, Emmanuel Macron, and the new German Chancellor for, basically sleepwalking their way, knowing that if Trump came back to power, that he would probably pursue a same strategy of disengaging, especially in terms of protecting Ukraine. Now, I think what the Ukrainians really want to happen quickly now, as President Zelensky said, is for a lot of investment to come in on especially drone production. But the problem I have with this, to be very honest with you, is the Russians seem to be already one step ahead by the amount of drones they're now throwing at Ukraine. There are predictions that they could go up to 1,000 a night soon. So this is all very good, what they're saying. And of course, there's talk of that protection or monitoring force, whatever you want to call it. But let's focus on what's happening right now, I would say. Let's not put the cart before the horse and think about how to maximize that pain on Mr. Putin, how to starve his war machine of the resources so that this ends sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and look, we've been here before, haven't we? There's a lot of talking, there's a lot of gatherings and conferences talking about pressure. And as we have seen, even with some of the armaments, some of the, the things that are needed on the ground, it takes a long time. So is your sense, and I think it's important because we are starting to see, while we see this aerial assault intensify, certainly in the last 2 weeks, mostly via drones, and you can speak to that because you are in Odessa, we are starting to see the tone shift as well from the United States. How do you make sense then of what you had been hearing? Frame that for us.
Yeah, sure. Well, what is happening in the United States, especially the participation of those two senators in the call today, is very, very good. And I think what's happening in the background there is that Republican senators, especially who are sympathetic to Ukraine, have been able to influence Mr. Trump. Whether that will last, because we all know about his short attention span, let's see. But that is a very, very positive thing for Ukraine. But it has to be realized as well that the United States alone cannot provide the air cover that is needed right now. Again, going back to what's happening here on a nightly basis, and thank goodness Odessa has been spared the past few days, but you have ramped up production on the Russian side. You have them coming up with different ways, decoy drones and other innovative ways to evade Ukrainian air defenses. So again, that's why while this discussion about more armaments, more Patriot missile systems is very, very important, I think the Trump team has to think very, very creatively and urgently about how to tighten the noose around Mr. Putin's neck. And if I could give you one clear example of how this might work, is let Mr. Trump use his influence, his leverage over countries that are helping Russia evade sanctions. The Gulf states, UAE and Qatar in particular, Turkey, Thailand. These are all places where Russians are buying a lot of luxury properties, millions of Russian tourists, oligarchs close to Mr. Putin hiding or parking their yachts there. It goes on and on and on. And I think once Mr. Trump, for example, says to them, okay, boys and girls, game over. None of that until we have peace from Moscow. That's when rubber will really hit the road.
Do you think he will really go there? Do you think this is something you'll consider?
Well, let's not forget, this is a man with a big ego who's gaming for the Nobel Peace Prize. So he might want to use every lever as possible. And let's not forget that he's used his tariff blitz on countries that certainly don't deserve it, by the way, including Ukraine and Moldova. So I don't think anything's off the table when it comes to Donald Trump.
Michael, really appreciate Michael Bociurkiw live for us in Odessa. Thank you very much, Michael. We always appreciate your perspective. Thank you.